Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Keeping It Legit, where we have legit conversations about legit topics that affect everybody in the day-to-day. Today, we're going to have a bit of a special episode. We've got my good friend, Ola Bayoji, who will be joining us today. Ola in the cut, Ola in the cut. How you doing, Ola?
I'm good, man. I thought you were going to introduce me saying Alaga Raz.
Now, obviously, we're going to give them your professional name. You're also known as Alaga Raz as well on Instagram and all the social media guys. Ola, thank you for joining us today. I mean, you're a great person, and I really want to have a discussion with you around various aspects of your life and various aspects of things that affect people, young black men or young black women on a day-to-day basis. How you sort of came into business, guys. Look, Ola runs a business called Gyre, which is an app, a barter app that allows people to trade their personal belongings with another individual and come to an agreement of the value of that product. It's an amazing app. And I know you guys have seen it about. You've seen it about on the university campuses, doing some media marketing campaigns at Hertfordshire, especially. So, guys, thanks for listening in and allowing Ola to sort of have a chat with me. Ola, my guy.
First of all, thank you for supporting and giving those great details about Gyre. A lot of times, some people get confused about it. It's like you even work with Gyre. Everything be going on. Are you stalking us?
Yeah. Hey, look, man, I've been following what you guys have been doing. When we first brought the idea to me and sort of discussed about how you're gonna get this thing going. I mean, I've seen the journey of from the start to where it is now, and man, like it's amazing. That's why I said, no, bro, I need to have you on the show so we can talk about this journey, man, because that app is doing great things. You were doing great things, and it's time for us to sort of showcase the showcases to the young people. Young people need role models. They need people to look up to. They need people to know that there is. They need to know that there is opportunity to come out of your struggle, to come out of whatever circumstance you're in, to make something of yourself, and to also know the reality of it. Because a lot of times, a lot of people are, for instance, on social media showcasing the success when they are not putting enough light on the hardship and the journey towards it. And it's important that your young people need to understand that, because unfortunately, the younger generation don't understand delayed gratification. It seems as though they want the quick route to success, but it never lasts. It never lasts. You need to work hard. You need to understand that it takes time to master your craft and to get to where you want to get to. And once you do get there, then it will be able to sustain. It will be there to last. It won't, vanish in the click of a finger. You know what I mean? So yeah. Thanks for jumping on. Hey, look, Ola, I'm talking too much, man. We want to hear from you, man.
Man. It's fine. It's fine. No, I like it.
So,
I like it.
so
It puts perspective to where I need to kind of like
navigate your insight.
Yeah, exactly. My conversations and stuff too.
Yeah, man, that's it. That's the way, bro. I want to come on, just tell us a bit about yourself. Your background, where you're coming from, man.
So myself, I'm actually originally from Nigeria. Grew up there. Until I was about 12.
Jeez, one more Niger.
You know what I'm saying? Ibadan boy, to be very precise.
Yeah.
A lot of Nigerians usually say they're from Lagos. I'm not from Lagos, bro.
Okay.
I'm from Ibadan. Coming here, the funny thing, what people never realize is I never spoke a single word of English.
Fresh off the boat.
I was never fresh. I was a newborn baby, man.
Oh my God, yeah.
They threw me in the worst place to even have to adapt to UK lifestyle, but it's not the worst place, to be honest. It's the place that's obviously shaped my mentality, let me understand how things go and whatever. So, which is Tottenham, by the way.
Okay.
When I got here, I grew up in Tottenham. Went to school in a school called White Hart Lane. We then changed to Woodside High School. I think by the time we were in year 9 or year 10, because the school was rampant. It was crazy. It was in between like two crazier schools. So you had St Thomas More, which was close to Woods Green,
Okay.
and then you have MPK, Formula Park School, and yeah, it was crazy, man. It was good, but yeah, that was me in a nutshell in terms of growing up. So I grew up in Tottenham. When I came to the UK, I've been working in different industries from fashion to even retail, fashion retail, tech, learning education, like when myself and you met, and been working in travel experience company as of recent. Unfortunately, because of COVID-19, the role had to be made redundant, which is understandable. I mean, it's a business decision for them, and I have to understand that. And but it's put me in a good position because my mind is sharp around. I know how to navigate this stuff. I know what to do, how to do it, how to get out, how to put myself in a different position. I'm never too scared about let me say losing a job per se or leaving a job.
Yeah, I mean, it's so important about that because a lot of people, they kind of keep themselves they get comfortable, or they keep themselves in this kind of box and stuck in one position because it pays the bills or this and that, and so they kind of hinder themselves from progressing and moving on to creating maybe like a side hustle, hinder themselves from putting their role into something else, or to even just finding what's best for them. And it's quite important to have that confidence and that no fear element of hey, look, if I leave here, something else is waiting for me. There's something else that I will be able to get.
Yeah, definitely. I think maybe let's start from there. So I want to say where I learned that was when I was trying to transition from working in retail. And when I say working in retail, meaning working in the shop.
Wait, but what shop was that, man?
It was Hunter. So
Hunter, nice. Okay.
One food company.
Yeah.
I was trying to transition into working to becoming like someone that works in the head office or even corporate world or whatever. So that was a decent transition for me because I realized that there was so much going on, like outside of the shop. Like that, of course, yeah, without the shop, the business doesn't do certain things, but there was so much going on outside of that, from the marketing teams to the operation teams, manufacturing, buyer, merchandise, delivery, logistics, all this stuff, right?
Okay.
And like it was pretty interesting doing that. However, I went through some crazy stuff there, which led me to leave the place. But when I left the place, I said to myself, I'm not going back to work for another company to be
Really?
shop. I said, no way, it's not happening.
How comes, man?
I think I guess maybe I was younger then, by the way.
How old are you roughly?
That was about 5-6 years ago. So I was about 21, 22.
Okay, yeah.
And like, for me, I just knew that there's money out there, first of all. So if I do want to make money, there's jobs out there that will pay me money. I just can't afford the money. Do you know what I mean? On top of that, you just need to realize that, you know what, these companies, as a black man, you always have to like even extra navigate compared to other people. Because we just had that struggle. Like that struggle is just like you automatically, the moment you're about to walk into your office, you automatically switch a different side of you on.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, you're right, Bav. How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing, mate? You all right, guys? Yeah.
There's an element of you that's not your normal self.
Yeah, you almost have to kind of fit in with.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas parts just go in, the workplace fits in with them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you just learn like to understand. And I guess like the job that I had working at Hunter, which was like a business development role, which was specialized to a specific product segment that they had, which is called food. It really helps me understand how like the difference between working with clients, working with colleagues, learning about, oh, this is what really goes on when this happens and when they say this and whatever. So it gets like, for me, I find it, for me, it's a game. I really believe, but please quote me wrong and please debate it with me if you want to, but like when it comes to like career and business and all these things, I really think to a degree it's a game. Like you just need to understand how certain things work. It doesn't mean you're going to be favored every time just because you you know so much things or whatever, but you just understand why some things are a certain way and how you go about it. So yeah, like from there, listen, I'll tell you the truth, right? The truth is, I'm not some genius like that that knows bare stuff. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact I'm not, but I guess what I'm good at is I'm always good at like really just sitting down and trying to analyze stuff and say, okay, cool. What's the best thing to do with this? What's the logic behind it?
Yeah.
Take my emotions and all of that stuff. So like every job I've had since then, I've literally hopscotched, and I've always punched way above my weight. Every single job.
That's it. That's the way.
And the best way I do it, so this is one of the tricks I do, when I'm trying to apply for a job that I've never done before, and I probably even know that, should I really be applying for it, coming from where I'm coming? Okay, what's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to say no, right?
Yeah.
I don't just apply and wait and pray alone. What I do is, say for instance, I apply for a job on LinkedIn, I will go to that person that's hiring on LinkedIn, if it's the recruiter. If it's a recruiter in the company, I will ask them who the hiring manager is, or I'll try and find out, when they show you the list of the people that work there or whatever,
Okay.
I look for them a message. Oh, I like this role, by the way. I just wanted to see if I get some time with you to have a conversation about it. Even if you say no, it'll just be interesting for me to know what this role entails, because if you say no, I can go somewhere else.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's plenty of fish in the sea.
And that information will help me, even to the point where sometimes I'll just rock up to the office.
Wow.
And the office like, yo, what's up? Like, I want to see this person. No, I ain't got an appointment, but they told me to drop in whenever. I'll just do stuff because you're doing more than what the regular person does, where they just apply and just wait.
Helps you to stand out more, I guess.
Exactly. On top of that, you do get into the interview stage. Hopefully, you do. I really believe in like being very confident in the value that you're bringing to the table for these companies. Like, you really have to like just stand your ground and say, yo, this is what I am, and this is who I am, and this is what I can do, and I know my value. If you're going to say no, fine, just let me know. But I know what I'm bringing to the table, and you have to be confident with it, especially as a black person, right?
Yeah,
and when you go to a place, you need to walk with confidence. Don't walk in there saying that, oh, I'm lucky to be here. No.
yeah.
This, my G.
You got that. You got it. They chose you, so you are.
So you two should look like, yeah, I'm supposed to be here, because I do see a lot of times in workplaces where I worked with black people, whatever, or people of color, whatever the case may be, or shall I say, underrepresented. People use all types of words nowadays, man. I just don't use the word minority because I don't find myself as a minority.
Yeah.
Color. Anyway, I find people feeling like, oh, I'm lucky to be here, so let me tread carefully, let me not step on toes. No, it's actually something you should be doing.
Yeah.
Because the more, like, there's a line between, I always look at moving up in your career is the starting point is responsibility. The end point is accountability. And you're probably thinking, how does that make sense? I'll use a fashion retail store as an example. As a sales assistant, you have responsibility. Your responsibility is to fold the clothes, to greet the customers, to serve them, whatever. Manager he or she is in between responsibility and accountability, because they're responsible to do the daily the rota, the recruitment, blah blah blah, but they're accountable for you. They have to report up to the head office people to say, hey, our store is doing really great, and we have really great people working. Do you know what I'm saying?
This is what we achieved.
They have accountability because they have to be accounting. They have to be accountable for all of you guys.
Yeah.
Or to the board members to say, yo, the company's doing great. We're making money, doing this, we're doing that. So once you understand that line, you kind of know how to like move around things. And for me, luckily for me, most of the roles I've been going for as of the recent years, I've been going towards that accountability part, because the accountability part means you're managing people, you're managing projects, you have some sort of influence. Things work in your workplace or whatever role you're doing. So that's the way I kind of see it. And of course, it's not something that's like easy to just get that mentality and do it. Because trust me, bro, I've been in the dirt of the dirt.
Yeah, man.
It's a matter of you just look at it and say, you know what? At the end of the day, where am I trying to be at? What am I trying to do? I mean, I could be in the streets and be doing something, be making loads of money, but that would mean I have to look over my shoulder for
no peace of mind, man.
Or for the police, or you know what I'm saying, or something. You probably even have guilty conscience at some point, like, I don't want karma to happen to me, blah blah. You know what I'm saying? For me, I just always look at it like, you know, just choose a career or choose something you want to do and do it legit. Put your hard work to it. Put your strength and energy and enjoy it while you can, like as you. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. That's it.
Through it. Take it on the chin and keep moving. You know.
Yeah, real talk, man. That's it. I mean, and that's sort of why I wanted to. So that's why I wanted to. There's some things I wanted to. I want to bring it back to like your beginnings where you. So did you do your primary and secondary education here, or did you do that? You did secondary here. So so when you went off and finished secondary school, what were the options for you? Did you what was your journey? So you finished, you got your GCSEs. Did you get get grades, or what? How was the GCSEs like? I know for me, I didn't get as great as I was predicted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was predicted the A stars, the B's, and the A's, and the outcome was quite different because I mingled with the wrong people.
What is it?
I didn't I didn't go to extracurricular class because I was too busy linking the man them, and we were going to the others. We used to go in Trouble St. Martin's Girls. There's a girls' school that our headmaster. So I went Kingsdale. Our head teacher was. Say that again. South London, yeah, Kingsdale School, South London, and the head teacher of Kingsdale School was married to the head teacher of St. Martin's. Now, St. Martin's is about 10 minutes away from our school. So immediately, the guys, when we finished, and it's an all-girls school, by the way, whereas Kingsdale is a mixed school. So we'll go to St. Martin's and we'll go and talk to the girls and we'll go and do ganga banga, you know, going and doing show off, stunting and flexing. And that's what kind of, you know, messed up my grades, because then I wasn't taking my grades seriously, you know, so I wasn't taking exams and education as seriously as I should have. And it, you know, it had its effect, but I was quite fortunate to then still go on to college and do a BTEC as opposed to doing the A levels. I got, you know, my BTEC in business, which was great. I got good grades in that. So what was it like for you? So when you finished, you know, secondary school, how did it sort of all pan out?
I definitely relate to that because I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Before I came to this country, I never took education seriously. Back in Nigeria, they sent me to school. I didn't go. I didn't used to go.
Serious?
I like I'm going to school. I just turn the left road. I'm going to play and do dance. The thing is, like, back in Nigeria where I lived in the ghetto. Like, y'all think you got ghettos here in the UK? Allow it, fam. There's no way. Nothing. There's nothing
compared to back home.
Listen, that's why I always say to people, listen, you see everything we've got here, and even people that want to complain about stuff, listen, you wouldn't even last 2 hours in Nigeria in certain places. This is the worst case scenario. Most people, they're begging to even have a quarter of what you have.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Wow. Anyway, so like for me, my mentality back home was, we're all stuck in the same hood.
Yeah.
Go to school, you do degree. Guess what? We still live here. All of us still live here. You still work here. So
yeah,
you know, I'm gonna be a big doctor or whatever. But of course, my parents wanted me to be the best I can or whatever. Of course. And the thing is, my brothers were leading examples. So I've got 2 older brothers. Okay. Actually sent to a decent boarding schools that they went to. I was supposed to go to a boarding school. They literally kicked me back home. Literally the next day I got there. Wow. Because I already had a flight. Literally that first 10 minutes I was there. Wow. The same when I came here, I was so fresh. I didn't understand English. I'd gone to the school. They enrolled me. My mentality is, obviously in Nigeria, we don't disrespect teachers. I mean, I was one of those kids that we don't disrespect elders, especially in their day jobs and stuff like that.
Okay.
But if they do stuff to us, doesn't mean we won't beat the living crap out of you outside of the school. Because we do that. We do that. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard of area boys, right? In
Yeah,
Nigeria.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Area boy. Ha! The area boy. Look cool, area boys.
Another day, I'll tell you exactly what Alaga Raz means.
So there's a hidden meaning to. There's a reason you acquired that name.
So that name. So the word Raz is actually in Nigeria. They call rascals Raz. Right?
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I know
Alaga.
Alaga is like
Yeah,
the chair, like a MC speaker, innit?
chief. No, the actual real deeper meaning, the Yoruba real meaning of Alaga means a chairman, a chief,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sort of chieftaincy,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
I've got the chieftaincy of being the Raz guy, right, in the area. So
The chief rascal.
that's what my name came from. But yeah, like coming here, like the thing is, I was always a lone wolf in school, but I always got into stupid stuff because I had that mentality of I'm always ready to fight anyone. So there was times when I would fight someone and I didn't know that they were part of a Wood Green gang. And me, I'll still go to Wood Green to my uncle's house like it's normal. And
Yeah.
I was on the bus like, they would, oh, what's up? And I would still fight or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? It was stupid. Like, it was just really silly stuff. But like after secondary school, as an African child, I came here and I got through. I had a lot of like situations, especially I got to a point. There was a situation I had when I was in year 10, year 9, maybe 1 or 2, where I got into an altercation with a guy. And I don't know if I should incriminate. Actually, I'm not incriminating myself because I've done what I needed to do for it. Right? But I ended up pulling out a knife and stabbing.
Oh man.
3 years older than me in the school time. I think I was in year 9, he was in year 11 or something like that.
Yeah.
So we got into a fight. And for me, I'm like, this guy's gonna mess me up. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna pull out the sticky and stick to it. So we'll see what's happening. I got kicked out of school. My dad literally had to beg them every single day. At that point, I think that was when my dad stopped beating me because he was like, I can't send you back to Nigeria because you just be the chief rascal. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, the Alaga Raz.
If you're using knives here, you're gonna be carrying guns there.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, look, you need to figure out your life and know what you need to do. And I think that's probably when I started taking like life a bit more serious around like, you know, saying I want to make money, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to be a businessman, all that stuff. So being an African, I didn't really have a choice but to go to college and to go to uni. Funny enough, I did a mixture of A levels and B Tech.
Okay, okay.
Business, level 3, and then I did accounting and maths for the first year.
Okay.
Second year, I think I took away the maths and kept the accounting and also the BTEC and business, came out with that. Went to uni. The same thing with uni, like my mentality again is like, I just went to uni mainly for 3 reasons, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate to. The first is my parents wanted me to go to university.
Yeah.
Second thing is my brothers went to university, so I can't.
The pressure. Oh,
And then the third is most of my friends were going to uni, and I didn't want to. So other than that, I just like, you know what, I went to uni, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I struggled in uni. That's why I had.
Which uni was it that you went to? Hearts, yeah, Hertfordshire. You know, oh my, that uni there. So a few friends I had went to Hertfordshire. We used to always go Hertfordshire, man. Always,
Yeah.
was it Batchwoods?
Mansion.
Yeah, the mansions, the raves there were litty.
Yeah, full maybe. But even at uni, like the thing is, I was already exposed to that whole uni lifestyle way before I went there.
Oh, okay.
So most of my friends are like actually older than me.
Yeah,
most of my friends are my older brother's friends.
Makes sense. Yeah, so you kind of, it's a bit like, yeah, so you mingled with like like, and that seems to be a common thing with a lot of people now. Like they seem to be like mingling with people that are a bit more senior than them, so they're learning quicker and they've been exposed to much more than maybe the average person who just stuck with their age mates would be exposed to, if that makes sense.
That could be on the both good and bad side.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%.
Like, I was already going to uni raised when I was in year 10 and year 11.
Wow,
Like, crazy. Like,
Definitely chief rascal, bro.
By the time I got to uni, bro, I can tell you in my first year of uni, I probably only went out like 4 or 5 times.
Wow.
That was it. I didn't go out. I was a granddad because all I wanted,
bored of it.
I just wanted to make money and just chill. Like I didn't really care about going out. I didn't make friends like that.
Yeah.
People knew me, but I didn't really hang around with anyone or whatever.
Yeah.
The only one guy that I was always with, well, two. One of my cousins went to Hertfordshire as well, so we were always together.
Yeah.
And one of the guys that I lived with in the first year, I met him. He's one of my closest guys as well, Daniel. And since then, like we've always been friends or whatever. So, like I didn't really, and I actually quit uni my third year. So my course was a 4-year course. I quit uni my third year. They sent me an envelope. But I don't know what's in it. I don't know if it's a big failure. I don't know if it says, oh, you got, because I was doing a joint honors degree, which is basically 2 degrees in one.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe I got at least a 100 for, I don't know, one of them or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. I've never opened it. I probably never will. They'll come and ask me to bring it. I've got a degree, right?
Yeah.
You got to play the game, you know, Sharon. So, anyway, so yeah, that's kind of like the mentality I had. But I guess when I quit uni, that was when I really said, you know what? Yeah, there's way more to life than this whole degree stuff. That's when I started working in a hunter. Luckily for me, I was already working in the retail.
So what was your stuff? So just to kind of jump in there, like just for the purpose of the listeners. So once you left university and you started getting into your employment, what was your process? What did you do? How did you go about finding a job?
The good thing is I've always been a people's person.
Yeah.
Meaning I'm good at analyzing people, speaking to people, communicating.
Personal skills.
And
yeah.
Being very personable, right? Mm-hmm. So while I was in uni and I was working in some of those retail stores, I always made friends with a lot of like the managers and the managers' friends that comes to the store.
Okay.
Whatever. So when I realized that I'm gonna quit uni, I actually even quit like the second to the last month of the whole year.
I was listening. Wow.
I quit like in May or something. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing it again, man. Forget it. See you later.
Forget about it. Take care. See you later.
Yeah. So I reached out to one of them, and she was super dope. She's one of the people that definitely put me on game around and stuff like that. I still talk to her once in a while, and like she said, yeah, come on board, you know, whatever. So she was the general retail manager for Hunter at that time.
Okay.
Put me on, and I told her, and at that time I was actually working as a manager in another retail store, a concession. And she was like, oh, yeah, you know what? Come in as a sales assistant, show them that you can work your way up and do your thing, and then we'll get you into whatever you want to do. You know how to maneuver, and I'll show you how to do certain things. So, yeah, she really, and at that time, I still had a street mentality, but she's like, look, you can apply the same mentality into real career moves and stuff like that. The big difference is you don't have to look over your shoulder. You don't have to be like, man, police are coming for me or this and that. You just have to maneuver, how to speak to people, how to request for things, how to exude your value, how to understand stuff. Like, all of these different things. And she always like used to show me things, tell me stuff. Like whenever she goes to a meeting, she would pop my name in and tell me to come with her. Whatever. We had a great time and it was good. So like it was those kind of things that kind of helped me. And me also just being someone who's always inquisitive. Like I'm always trying to like find out what's going on.
Why, what, how, when.
And stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? So when I'm looking at all these things and this is what I want to do, this is how I want to do it, I'm always trying to look at it like, okay, I need to know the actual detail of what it is that I need to get to from A to B. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of like the mentality I kind of like grew over time. And don't get me wrong, those comes with its own challenges because sometimes you could do all of that and you procrastinate because you have too much information.
Man, procrastination, man. Procrastination is the enemy of progress, the killer of dreams, the destroyer of visions. Procrastination, man. Let's not even look. One thing, procrastination, man, has hindered a lot of things. for me personally. Even with this podcast, this procrastination was almost had it under, going under. And I think with a lot of young people nowadays, procrastination can have a major effect on the mental well-being of people as well. You're procrastinating and getting things started because you're worrying about what someone might say, what someone might think. You're procrastinating because there's a fear of some sort. And then once you start living in that procrastination, you then start to beat yourself up that when you're seeing other people doing well, and it's like, oh man, like, this person is doing this. Why am I not doing my thing? Am I not good enough? Is there something wrong with me? Like, why don't people like me? Why are people not talking to me as much? And it can play on your mind, and it can also then lead, to some dangerous thoughts. As we see with a lot of people, who unfortunately take their lives because, of not feeling like they're up to standard or being where they want to be, and because that root of procrastination infected them from the very beginning. It's stopping them from using their gifts and their talents to, to bring glory to God and stuff,
It's easy. They start doing, like, I have friends that they're now in jail, some of them even dead, because they had procrastination of doing something else that could have been all right, but they thought, let me go the easier route. That I'm procrastinating to do the hard work, or procrastinating to do. So he's just like, I ain't really trying to get myself into any of that. And you just think about life generally. Like, for me, I believe in, I want to go through everything you can go through in life, from love to children to free, to just traveling, to experiencing different things and getting some new skills and whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, all of this different things. So, like, it's like, procrastination is mad, but it could also, it's just, it could be a good thing and a bad thing. It just depends on, how you look at it and how you actually make use of it. Procrastination has helped me from a position of, when I procrastinate about certain things and say, I'm going to do it later or whatever, it might give me enough time to actually come back with a different thinking about how I should go about it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The bad side could be that I could have actually just started
with it quicker
and forget it.
Yeah.
You have the advantages and disadvantage. I guess you look at it like, what's that thing they say? Like, do you look at a glass half full or half empty?
Half full and half same thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that's that on that. Which, if we kind of bring that maybe into, I'm guessing where the conversation will go, just like more business stuff, right? That was one of, like, me just learning how to navigate these old, like, career move and whatever, and career path and whatever. It's also the same way I think about, like, business generally. Like, however, the only thing with business is it's a longer game. A very longer game compared to career. Like, you could, I guess we could use ourselves as an example where, if you look at yourself 5 years ago, the jobs you were doing 5 years ago compared to now is completely different. I'm saying, the way you think about stuff, the way you see things. However, you can be in business and still be in the same position for 5 years. And
some people are. They've been in the same role for 20 years. Maybe the pay rise has come, but responsibilities is the same thing.
So even that's procrastination to me. Like, I never. Don't get me wrong. I totally understand. Like, some people just prefer to be stable and have structure and whatever. But for me, I'm not coming to die in someone's company, one company especially. Just be on the same payroll, whatever jobs, and be on the same pay and stuff like that. I was just looking like, I'm pretty sure you have way more to you to do. Even if it's in that same company. I don't mind being in a company for long years, but knowing that I started off as a janitor and now I'm like I don't know, chief executive or some sort of influential role. Because at least you've grown and you've adapted and you've learned and whatever. But you're going to be in a company, you're pretty much stagnant or pretty much not really moving, especially in this day and age. Being in a company for too long, it's in this day and age anyway,
it's tough.
I don't see the point. You will learn a lot. Like, you'll get to a point where it's like, and that's one of the things and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Some people might look at it as a good or bad thing, but for me, I don't believe in being in until I can say I'm in a company where my role is very influential in the way that company shapes and moves. I don't want to be in a company for the most. The most I want to be in a company for is 3 years. That's the most
Wow.
I want to
Why
be.
is that? Why is that?
And I always feel like, for me, the first 6 months is me learning the role, learning the company, learning the people, whatever.
Mm.
The next 6 to 12 months after that is, I know my stuff now. I'm doing my stuff.
Mm.
I'm growing. I have opportunities to promote myself in this company or to go somewhere else and
Mm.
show that, oh, this is what I've been doing. I'm ready for the next line. Let's go. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like by the time you get to like that 2 year mark, you kind of feel like you've accomplished everything that needs to be accomplished in this role in this company. You feel like you've given your value already, and like maybe it's time to actually go somewhere else and show them that value. Because sometimes a lot of companies that you stay with might not really see that value until you leave.
Mm.
Sometimes they just get comfortable with it, whatever. They just run with it. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm.
I feel like you coming out to the workplace is you taking a step back and looking at what you've done and seeing how you can even make that bigger somewhere else.
Okay.
As human beings, I don't think we're people that we're not really built to just be in one place. We're very pro-social. We're very proactive to a degree compared to any other animals like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always questioning. We think about things like purpose. We think about things like procrastination. We think about love. We think about money. We think about health. All these different things. A lot of other animals don't really. Lions wake up just to kill. Sometimes not even to eat.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just say, "I'm the king in this."
Yeah.
Like, don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So but for us, we always feel like there's a purpose, and I always feel like every single person's got a purpose. Every single
Mm.
person, and the purpose doesn't have to be you have to start a business.
And that's what I was gonna come back to, because like there's some people that, you know, like in being in that one position in that one company brings them joy, brings them satisfaction, and they can be there for that long. So I guess like it's okay, but it's about finding your purpose,
Yeah,
finding
absolutely.
what is your gifts, what's your talents, and then using that. So that's what made me want to come on to come on to Gyre. So after you worked at Hunter, you then went on to QA. Oh, QA days, man. That was the QA days. Was I think QA was a bittersweet moment. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't say too much um about QA in that sense, because I'm trying to avoid
I know. I'm gonna tell you this, right? This is the way I look at it. I'll say it. I don't want you to say it. I'll say it, and I'll give you my experience.
yeah. Show me what your experience was like.
For me, it's not like I'm throwing QA under the bus and saying the whole company is rubbish
Yeah.
or whatever. But the leadership I was under, maybe not the direct leadership, maybe the person above that person and all the people around in that realm of people that's above whoever was leading me in the company,
Mm.
total trash.
Mm. Mm.
Total trash from the sense that, which is part of what we're fighting today, this whole institutional racism
Yeah.
and preferences and all this stuff, right? Because in the UK, it's covert. Like, it's very different. The way they do things is
Conservative approach, isn't it?
bro, like, I'm not sure if you remember when I started going through my whole thing in QA.
Yeah.
There was times where I would sit there myself and think, wait, am I thinking too much about this? Or
Mm.
did that really happen? Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It kind of throws you off. You just don't know. At least,
Yeah.
like, listen, America, they say it to your face right there and there.
Yeah. They'll be very out. They're very
This,
much outright about how they
here,
feel about other races.
you so well that you start to think, what is this? Like, is it me? Am I the one that's the problem here?
Yeah.
And also, and this is what I meant, if you remember earlier on when I was saying people shouldn't feel lucky in the workplace, is, like I said, a lot of people like us feel lucky in those aspects. So when they see other people going through things like that, it's not that they're scared to help. They're scared to help because it might implicate them.
Okay.
Rather than to say that I have value. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
you might find other black people that might not necessarily be willing to help you in those situations or speak up or whatever, which is understandable. For me, I don't take those things personal. I don't look at it like my problems are my problems. Nobody owes me anything, and I don't owe them anything. So it's not like. But when you look at the whole spectrum, like I said, like my experience in QA was a big turning point in my career path
Yeah.
in terms of understanding how this whole thing runs, which is now, like I said, it's really a game. Really a game of how you put yourself across, fight your battles. You don't need to fight your battles shouting. You don't need to fight your battles cussing the next person or giving them dirty eye. You play the game. You want to act like sneaky and smile in my face and stab me in the back? I could do the same. I'll shake your hand. How you right, Gary? Yeah, lovely. Gary,
Yeah, guys, all right, Keys. Yeah, all right, I'll see you. You going for a pint? Yeah, I'll join you.
they don't like you, but guess what? They'll still tell you, what are you doing today? Let's go for a drink in the pub.
Yeah. Yeah, just because it has to be outwardly shown that you're being inclusive.
Exactly.
I can't stand that word, this inclusive, equality and diverse. Like it's just corporate jargons to mask the real issue that is. I mean, yeah.
Word out of all of that I take seriously is equality. Everything else like inclusivity, diversity, bruh. Like equality for me is probably the most easiest word that makes more sense, because at the end of the day, all we're asking for is just treat us like that's all.
Yeah.
We're not asking to be better than you. We're not asking you to prioritize us than you or your people, whatever. We're just saying, just treat everyone fair.
That'd be fair.
You know what I'm saying? That's literally it.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, it almost makes me I don't believe in always equality. Like you said, I look at it funny. I mean, some companies do genuinely try, but a lot of times it's jargon. I mean, a good example is like, I'm not sure if you saw recently, there was a document that was leaking, that leaked about when Amazon bought Whole Foods.
No.
Whole Foods, right? And there was a documentation that basically let us know that they said, oh yeah, like, let's act like, we're all about this equality and diversity stuff and create some sort of equality and diversity section in the business, just so that unions are not formed, because unions means there's lawsuits, there's grievances, there's, you know what I'm saying, there's this stuff.
Wow.
I mean, if a company like that is doing that behind closed doors, everyone else is doing stuff.
Yeah, that's.
I don't really look at it as though, because equality is not about. I'm not telling you to just go and be applying black people, like bringing black people to roles just because you don't have enough black people. That's not the case.
Yeah.
The case is, if my name pops up on my CV, don't look at my name and say, oh, that's an African name. Huh? No, we don't want that. I'm actually probably better than Gary.
Yeah.
This is the advice I want to give to any black person. When you're applying for roles, when you're trying to do stuff, just do it. Doesn't matter. Apply, gas it up, wherever you need to do. Because guess what? John Smith is gassing it up. And John Smith doesn't know half of the things you know. John Smith probably isn't as competent as you would be in that role. But you're scared because you're thinking, they're not going to apply. I'm punching way above my weight. I'm doing this. Worst case you're going to get is no. Go somewhere else. Apply. Ask for your whatever expectation salaries you have. Tell them you want to negotiate. Negotiate. Don't be scared. They have the money. These companies have the money.
They do. They have the budget, because most of the time their budget has contingency on top of it as well, for in case they find someone overqualified, or in case if anything goes wrong, and in case it's just all in case. There's got the budget there.
As you know it, it's like at the end of the day, look, if they like you and they know you've shown them that you're someone that can bring value, they will take you.
Yeah, of course.
You're asking for it. If they can afford it, they'll take you.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. So it's like, I think there just needs to be a balance of understanding how these things work, understanding how, listen, if I'm going to apply for this job, I need to understand what that role is, what I'm putting myself into, what responsibilities are there, what am I going to be accountable for? Is that worth it? Because the thing is, if you don't do these negotiations and you don't speak up and you don't show your value from the beginning, number one, it's going to be harder for you to have those conversations once you're in. Two, it's like you're just going to, they're not going to give you extra if you don't ask, basically.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. If you don't ask, you don't get. And like, they're not going to know unless you really, like, I believe, yeah, actions, what do they say? Actions are better than words or whatever.
Speak loud. Actions speak louder than words. Yeah.
Guess what? Make your words speak and give people the confidence that you can do that action.
Yeah.
You can act, that you can really put in work. So, and that's what I believe. Like, and if it means you have to gas it a little bit, so it's like they love lies anyway.
I'm not advocate for lying, but
I'm not lying. Let me not
you
say
know,
lie.
sometimes you can exaggerate.
That's what I meant. Sorry, that's what I meant. I don't want to say lie.
Yeah.
But guess what? On the flip side, for someone like me, right? I don't know if I've ever showed you my cover letter. In my cover letter, it doesn't tell you all the great things I can do or whatever. I go straight to the point. I say, look, to be honest, I'm not going to be here, inflating my qualifications and my skills or whatever. Listen, I'm not a unicorn. I know the job. I've applied for it. I know I can do the job. That's it. If you are interested, check out my qualifications that aligns with this stuff. Check out my experience. Check out my projects. Check out, I don't know, whatever portfolio, whatever it is I've attached, right? And if you don't take me, all right, cool, I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Make sure you know that you didn't take me.
Yeah. So it's almost having that element of indifference. Like it's down to you. I guess that's the kind of thing that you want to be, especially that's what will show your confidence. And it gives that individual who's reading your thing that kind of I think if we don't do anything about this, then we might be missing out. And that's where the fear of loss comes in. And that's what I'm sort of trying to. I want to sort of help paint that picture for the people, not just the young people of all ages listening. That when you are applying for opportunities, when you're networking with people, you are selling yourself. You're not prostituting yourself. You're selling yourself. You're selling. You're selling who you are. So you're going to have these fundamental things in place, these sales tactics, these basic sales tactics in place. And it doesn't matter if you are in a sales role. You as an individual will always have to sell yourself and who you are, your character, when you're networking, when you're going to interview, when you're recruiting, when you're applying for opportunities. And there's tactics, indifference, your fear of loss, the greed element, how much value you can bring for that money that you're trying to pay, your tone of voice, how you speak, how you sound, how whether you match the person's tone of voice, and then that sense of urgency that, hey, look, mate, there's other people who are looking for me. Other people have been inquiring of my services. Jale, what do you want to do?
The other two things I was going to mention about it is, the first is you always have to look at it like, look, you're the one that's going to be stuck with this job.
Yeah.
However long you're going to be there. So you need to put, when I'm going to interviews, I'm interviewing them. You're not interviewing me, my G. Like, of course, I'm going to give you the answers to everything you need and asking me, what did I do? But guess what? I'm coming with my questions. What have you got on the table for me? What am I coming to? Who's my team? Who's my management team? Do we have people? Listen, one of the biggest questions I always ask in every single one of my interviews, do you have people like me here? Sometimes they look like, oh yeah, we've got like young people, black, whatever. I said, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, people that I can come into this company and look up to, they're black or they're someone of color, they've come from a low role and they've worked their way up.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to come to a company where you're going to employ me in that stage, but that's the stage you keep me at.
You're trying to keep me at, yeah, because some people have their own agenda, don't they?
That's basically what it is, because all you got to do is just knock me out at some point in time when you get tired of me and bring someone in that same position. The second thing is, I always say, at the end of the day, you look at like this whole career thing as a way of, you're not just getting by, you're actually putting some sort of, the more you navigate these things and the better you understand it, the better you understand your own purpose anyway, the better you know that, okay, like you said, what's the value you're bringing to the table and all those things. Because, of course, to them, I guarantee you there's other people that are willing to accept way less than what you've got to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what you're asking for the same role. But unless you really tell them your value and show them, they're not really gonna.
They're not gonna really, yeah, they're not really gonna know.
Exactly, man.
100%, man. 100%, man. I totally agree. So I guess my next question, what made you decide? Because obviously you're at these different companies. You started off at Hunter, you went to QA, then you went to, was it Yo-Yo? You went to Yo-Yo Wallet. What was the company you went on to after that?
Went to.
It was like a loyalty scheme, isn't it?
Sorry.
It was a travel loyalty company.
So Collinson Group.
Collinson Group, that's it, yeah, Collinson Group. So after Collinson Group, I mean, so at what stage did you decide? What stage did you decide that you wanted to set up a company?
When I got to Yo-Yo, it was really interesting because most of the people I was working with were pretty young, and it's definitely an innovative company. Like they had ideas, they had plans, they had all these different things, and I'm just learning all these different things. And because I used to work with so many different teams, from the tech team to the operations, to design, to engineering, sales, marketing, like, and it was very interesting to like just see and think, oh, like if this is the way. So I've realized that things that they do on a day-to-day basis in a business is just prolonged.
Okay.
But when you're obviously starting a business, all those things you do in a rush. And I love the adrenaline of it. I love the process of you're ticking things off your to-do list. And this is what we're doing. Okay, cool. This is what we're doing. Okay, how do I go about this? How do I do that? So it got pretty interesting for me at that time. And to be honest, at that time, I still didn't know what I wanted to do in terms of business. But I knew I wanted a business. I wanted to start something. And I wanted to put some skills to a test.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a friend then that we went to uni together, and we lived together in the second year actually, who had the idea for Gyre, which was basically he was thinking about it for university students at a time to start offering. So that's how we kind of started Gyre. And again, it's all about like believing in your own source, because when he brought the idea to me, I felt back in 2017, I was on decent money and Yo-Yo and all that stuff. I was living good. I was like, no, I can't be bothered, bro. Like, come back to me with some more like concrete. Because for me, I'm not the kind of guy that likes to just talk about ideas all day long. I want to put action in, and I want to see action.
Make it make sense, yeah.
I just doing your stuff and executing. So he came back to me towards late 2017. He said, bro, I'm telling you, this is it. I've gone to these people, this is what I've come up with. I said, yeah, okay, cool, let's do this. Like, what's up?
Yeah.
We started talking more, we weren't into it. And then we applied for this O2 thing, like some program where they were giving money for people to start up businesses or
Okay. It's like
innovations.
funding, so investment,
Yeah.
funding, grants in a sense, so enterprise grant. Okay.
So got into it, and I told them, look, we're going to get this money. We're going to have to tell them this. We need to let them understand what this is. So I think there was a part, there was part judgment of we really believe in this innovation, and there's also a part judgment of they're black, and we don't probably usually get a lot of black people that comes with ideas like this.
Oh, so that kind of worked in your favor.
Yeah, exactly. So use that money to obviously build the first version of Gyre.
Finally, something that being black is good for, because they'll throw their money at you. They'll just throw the money at you.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Oh, he wants to do good things. Take the money. Take it. It's all yours. $1, baby.
I'll tell you what's crazy about that. It's not very easy for a lot of people like us anyway to get to those positions, and that's one thing I'm always grateful for. Second thing I'm always grateful for is even when you do have people that get into those positions, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to maneuver. They don't know who to speak to, how to like just plan stuff and whatever. Because I guess maybe it might be the shock, or it might just be the fact that they're not educated. When I'm saying educated, I'm not talking about books education. I'm talking about, like educating yourself around, okay, what do I do with these resources? Who do I network with? what's marketing, what's product roadmap, what's all of these different things, what's maintenance, what's ATVs and consumer metrics and all these different things, right? So you look at all those things and you just kind of like understand that, there's just more to this whole thing than just saying I want to start a business. Like, you should start a business, because some people, I always tell some people, listen, sometimes you're better off just being a career worker than starting a business. Starting a business is not something that's easy at all. Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's times when I sit and think, what the hell am I doing, fam? Should I just pack up and close? But you also think that I also think from a perspective like, yo, I've put in far too much to just give it up, man. I just need to keep going. And it's like I said, it's a long game, So like, just get into that mindset and know, because some people just want to say they start up a business and they're CEO or something.
Yeah.
CEO doesn't mean nothing.
Unless
it's just a title. Matter of fact, half the time I don't call myself CEO of Gyre. I just say I'm a founder of Gyre. Oh, what do you do? I'm the cleaner, I'm the designer, I'm the marketer. Whatever it needs to be done, I'm the guy.
That's it.
You need to clean the office, I'm the cleaner. Okay. So, well, it's past just having those titles. It's about discipline, man. Discipline is the big, for me, I take discipline over passion. And you're probably thinking, what? You should always have passion for things you do before discipline, whatever. If you don't have passion for it, you can't do it. I'll tell you, I'll kid you not. I did not have passion for Gyre when we first started it. But my discipline is, if I start something, I want to finish it. Okay. I want to put in time, I want to execute, and I want to see a result. So when we started off, it was great. And for me, but obviously slowly as we did more things and it got more interesting, and I was learning different things and upskilling myself, meeting new people, that's when the passion started coming. But the discipline helped me with the passion. Because I know many people that have passion for ideas and things that they want to do, but it doesn't mean they have the discipline to execute it and continue doing, even if there's no what's the word? Even if there's no if there's no results that you see right there and then, because sometimes people just want early gratification. I don't for Gyre because I want people to commend me, to say, well done. No. I need you. I want you to see this and know that, you know what, this is someone I can look up to, because they're putting in the work and they're doing things that they want to do, and they're doing it in the right way or whatever. And you can see results. I'm someone who likes to just have results speak for itself, So that's the way I look at business broadly. I don't even want to tie it to just Gyre, just generally business and like who comes up with ideas and building them. It's not even about. It's the same way as like you do this podcast. People don't know. They just see the glory,
They don't product. They see the finished product as opposed to seeing the hard work behind it.
Like, people come to me, Gyre is such a great app. It looks nice. This and this. Yeah. And people ask me, yo, so is Gyre making money? No, it's not. So I've been doing it for like 2.5 years. That's what you get. It's called taking a risk. And
that's it, yeah.
Some form, and you just have to keep going. And of course, you have to also learn when to close up shop and know that, okay, this is not working. Should I pivot that idea? Should I just close it off and start something new?
Some product diversification. So.
Absolutely nothing wrong with you starting up a business and close up shop 3 years down the line or 5 years down the line because it's not working. At least you tried.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Better be in that situation than not trying and thinking, I should have done that.
Yeah.
Maybe
woulda, coulda.
Come to me and say, oh my God, I had this idea when I was uni.
And what did you do with it? Procrastination killed it.
Okay, that's great. I don't know what to say to that. I'm not saying that I was thinking that from an arrogant perspective. I'm just looking at it like, what does that information do for me? Yeah. Like, no, business, it's not easy, man. And people, like I said, they need to educate themselves. They need to upskill themselves. They just need to have discipline. Discipline is the biggest one.
Yeah, so you mentioned that like they need to have discipline. I mean, so when you were doing your I guess you had to do a business plan for
Yeah.
you. So you put together your business plan. I mean, how did you have to go out and do some market research? Was that something you had to conduct?
Yeah, so like it's not just yeah, because people, when I say discipline to people, they're thinking a lot of times people think, oh, wake up early, go to the gym, go for a run,
Hmm.
go into the office, blah blah blah. I'm trying to say all these different things, but they don't realize that there's way more to to that. You don't even have to be like that. You know what I'm saying? For me, I'm someone who I wake up whenever I feel like.
Mm.
I don't follow no routine of, oh, if you want to be successful, wake up at 5 a.m. every morning, go for a run. I
Rituals.
do whatever the hell I want, however way I want, because I know myself and I know how to do stuff. There's days when I've literally woken up, did really great work in 4 hours, and I've gone back to bed. I've not looked at it, and that gave me really big results. And there's days when I've spent 20 hours in front of my laptop and I didn't really get down to anything when I actually look at it in the grand scheme of things. So you're gonna get those days, and don't let people give you this facade of, oh yeah, I'm an entrepreneur, I meditate, I listen to podcasts, I read.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's interesting you say that because, like how important do you think nowadays is planning and having a routine to your day? Like, because like for me, like where I've noticed of late, I mean, probably since COVID-19 got us on a lockdown, I've noticed that time waits for no man. Time flies, especially when you're in one place for so long. You need to make use of the time. You've got 24 hours to do
Yeah.
things. So how important do you think is breaking down your day and having a plan? Because I find that, when I break down my day, if I start early doing some stuff, it allows me to have more time to other things, because you can't always fit in everything into one day. Sometimes you wish there was more hours in the day to do things,
Yeah.
when really and truly you can just wake up a bit earlier to start your day. Like, instead of waking up at 8 o'clock, maybe you wake up at 5, because you want to creep in those things that you will probably end up getting you to go bed late. You can start them a bit earlier so you can then have free time for socializing in the evening. That was one of my biggest issues, because since I got married, I wanted to have you know a separate time in the evening where I spend with the missus, or I have a separate time where I can call friends and catch up with friends and see how my friends are doing, because those are the relationships that you're going to feed off. That's the kind of stuff that's going to keep you motivated. Somebody might share some insight and wisdom with you that will allow you to keep going. Do you know what I mean? And somebody might be going through something and they need you to be there. So to fit in time for that, I've seen that starting my day earlier helps me to do that. And then also, when I'm having a schedule, a plan for the day, then I can stick to it. So something isn't overrunning and canceling, eating it into the time, and it has that knock-on effect to cause
Yeah.
you to end up breaking that
I
cycle.
understand that, and for me, routine is good with certain things, but I don't think routine is needed for every single day for certain things. Also, like, of course, like, if you're planning ahead and you're looking at certain things, yes, like, you do need some sort of routine, but there's no point in, because every day is different. Everything you do, the way you feel every day, like, you have to put some sort of humanity to it, and that's what I do. Like, I'm a human before business, before career, before whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? So I always look. There's days where I feel rubbish, and if I want to feel rubbish today, I want to feel rubbish today. Don't send me no motivational videos. I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And all this motivational stuff as well. I personally, I don't really indulge in all those things. And crazy enough, it's so crazy because some people obviously, I guess, look at me and they kind of maybe see some sort of motivational stuff. I don't even do it on purpose. I'm just me. Just when some people are motivated by maybe the way I speak about certain things or when I'm showing them stuff, and that's great.
Mhm,
I'm absolutely happy with that. Like, thank you for being motivated.
mhm,
I don't actually go out to be motivated, and I don't want to hear this motivational stuff every day. Some days I'm not motivated, and that's fine because
mhm.
I'm a human being.
Yeah,
There's
yeah, yeah.
there's days where, like, you plan to work as a, bro. A good example is, like, I do a lot of design stuff, so I do freelance and design stuff as well, right?
Okay.
And it's like days where I could spend 5 hours designing something, putting in all my effort, doing all this stuff. And then I'll go to bed, I wake up next day, I think, bro, I spent 5 hours on this piece of crap. And I'll literally come up with a better idea and finish off in 30 minutes the next day.
Wow, wow.
It just, like, you just be human at the end of the day. Like, that's what we are. Don't be this machine that, oh, you have to be a certain way. You always have to have this positive mindset about stuff. And the thing is, sometimes people think you being real is being negative. So I've got friends where when they tell me about certain ideas and I'm counter-attacking them with, okay, have you thought about this? Have you done this? They're thinking I'm trying to tell them that this is not possible. No, I'm telling you that go and do your research, go and understand what you're trying to get yourself into, and be sure that this is what you want to get yourself into. But depending on the kind of person you are, you might look at me and think, oh, he's a negative one, man. I don't want to be telling them about stuff. No, I'm just telling you the reality of things because I've been there. And so I'd rather just help you dodge that bullet than you actually put your chest out front and get with it. You know what I'm trying to say? So, like, it's just really being human, understanding, things that you need to do them when you can do them. And especially, like, let's say with like work, for instance. Of course, some careers do require extra time and effort and whatever, which is understandable. But the way I treat work, even in my business, whatever it is, look, I'll do everything I can today and whatever, especially with work. My workplace, they know. As soon as it's 5:20, don't email, no, 5:20, 5:10. Don't email me about, can I catch up with you quickly for two? No, I'm getting ready to go home. We can come back tomorrow and do it. It's not my father's company.
Yeah. Not my father's money either.
Money, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's my father's money, bro, it says in the contract for 8 to 5, I'm 9 to 5:30. Like, I'm not coming to kill myself about it. It's the same way I look at business. Like, for me, so I'm very strict with business stuff when it comes to that. Like, for me, I'm one of those people, if you give me a time, I will be there.
Yeah.
Time. Do you know what I'm saying? If it's, oh, this is what needs to be, I'll do it. That needs to be done. I don't need to necessarily, of course, sometimes I exceed expectations and do more, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's not really, I don't think it's like, so, like, there's like a machine-like routine that you should have. Even matter of fact, as an entrepreneur, I remember when I first started Gyre, many people used to tell me, oh, you need to read this book, you need to do that. Bro, in 2018, when I started Gyre, I read 45 books in that year.
Wow.
I only remember 2 books out of all of them. 2. And I thought, in 2019, I just thought, wait, I've read all that book for what? Because I do meet people that's read, oh, I've read that book. Yeah, I've watched this video. Okay, what's that information do for you then? What's it done for you? Like, don't get me wrong, it's good to read stuff so you can learn things or whatever. For me, I've learned that I'm better off reading things that's only specific to the goals and the things that I really need to be implemented right now. I don't want
to with the information you're taking in.
to be applying in the next 3 years. I probably would have forgotten about it. I would have to read it again. That's a waste of energy and time.
Yeah.
I'd rather read a book or indulge myself in something that's very realistic to where I'm at and what I need to do to get to wherever I'm trying to get to. Yeah. Not based on, it's like, okay, you might ask, no, what's one of the, for me, people always ask, oh, if you're not an entrepreneur if you haven't read Poor Dad, Rich Dad, all that stuff.
Oh, gosh, here we go.
Listen, I'll tell you this year, as a black man, that book for me makes no sense. It makes sense generally, but the reason it makes no sense is because coming from where I come from, I can't relate to most of those things. I will never have the factors that he mentioned in those books. It won't have, of course, the principle of how these things work and whatever. Yes, I can apply it.
Yep.
And in this day and age, applying those things probably is hard as it is for a black person. But generally, I can't. Me reading those books can't. I just don't have those factors. I don't have a friend that has a rich dad that has time to teach me stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a friend. I don't necessarily have a friend that, is ready to, that's rich somewhere. And because even you as a human being, think about it. It's like, I'm sure you've seen some of these things where people say, like, leverage your networks and all of that. I totally get it. But listen, me that my net worth might be 100K compared to someone that's 20 million pounds, we are not on the same level. They're not, I'm sorry, but they're not trying to have the same conversations with me. We can't be in the same room. I can't afford the same things they can. Their stress might be about, should I get a jacuzzi or should I get a pool? My stress might be about, fam, should I do bucket bath or shower? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like people realize that the gaps, those gaps, it doesn't mean that there aren't friendships in those lines, but it's those friendships are not it's not really friendships. Because if we were friendships, if we were friends or whatever in that line, believe it or not, you that you're 20 million net worth person, my net worth should be very close to that too.
You're trying to pull, or trying to even at least pull you into the same network as you.
20 million or 100K. We don't even live in the same realm of the world. Like things that you can afford and do, I can't. People say, but what humans? Yes, but if I'm not gonna lie, if I was sitting on 20 million right now, the conversations I'm gonna be having is very different to conversation that someone that's on 20K a year is having. About the way we're thinking about things. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just very different. And that's the reality of things. It's not that those people are better than you because of the money, or it's just how the world is. Okay, it's like you now, you know for a fact there's friends from school days or college or even uni that you know that you can't even have a normal conversation.
And it's to be fair, it's true. Like there's a lot of people out there that were friends that, like, if you were to see them now, like they wouldn't be having a similar kind of conversations.
Yeah.
Like because they're not on the same wavelength, the conversations will be kind of limited. Oh, how's the family? Oh, great. Yeah. Oh, that's good. It just kind of like dies down because you want to talk to that person about maybe stocks, shares. That person's not into it. They're just not thinking about stocks and shares. Whereas that's something that's quite relevant on your heart, or even not even stocks and shares. You could be talking about, product diversification. Or how do I, expand my product range and that kind of stuff. You're trying to learn that, and that person is just thinking about the next rave that they're going to go.
Yeah.
You get litty, and it's just like, I don't want to think like that no more. So I guess that's what's going to lead on to my next one, because we've got a few, got a limited time left. How have you managed to navigate yourself and adapt, to your environments, especially around your friendship circle, the relationships you've had, like what I went through. I had, for me, I had a certain group of friends I was around all the time, and then as soon as I got to university, I was one of the first out of all my friendship circles to go to university, and the rest didn't. So from then, the relationships just started to go a different direction. Do you know what I mean? And it wasn't as frequently in touch. We did our best, but it just wasn't as strong. Like, how did you feel about that? How did you navigate around that? How did you change? What impact did it have on you? Your changing your friendship circle, and the people that you were in contact with. How did you sort of adapt to the new lifestyle you were living in?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm still the same person. The only thing that really changed, I guess, is my way of thinking and how I handle certain things. But I'm still the same person. I'll still have a conversation, have a laugh, or whatever. There's just time and place for it now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, obviously, my first year of starting Gyre, I actually quit my job at Yo-Yo, and I didn't work for like a year and 2 months or so.
Yeah.
And in that year and 2 months, god damn, my credit rating was at probably lowest than any newborn child.
Yeah, just for the purpose of the conversation, just explain what what the credit rating is.
A credit rating is basically to give you an evaluation of or assessment of how you can possibly have access to capital without the cash.
Yeah.
Sometimes the cash, but in spectrums, like, to be honest, the way I would explain it is you're probably better off having access to £200,000 credit line than £200,000 cash.
Okay.
In most cases, not all cases, in most cases.
Yeah.
The reason is £200,000 £1,000 cash doesn't mean nothing. You can't even get a mortgage, or let me not say mortgage. You can't even go to like a car dealership and tell them you want to put £200,000 down.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that anymore. Back in the day, it doesn't work like that anymore. Yeah. Know who you are. They need to understand you. All those different things, and that goes into data and whatever. Well, anyway, back to the main question. So, for me, in that time that I wasn't working and I was having trials and tribulations, for instance, getting scammed of a few thousands and all that stuff, I had some friends who were telling me, "Oh yeah, like I got you, bro, anytime, whatever." And when something happens that I might be explaining to them or whatever, they dip, they're gone. And I don't even put it against them. Like it's calm. Like I just know that okay, that's who you are. And for me, luckily for me, I've never really been someone who depends on people. I don't even like to be a burden to people generally. So I don't help people with my problems or whatever because people really don't care. In most cases, they don't. They have their own problems to deal with.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna put your stuff, as priority. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and that's something people need to understand. Like your problem isn't everyone else's problem. So you need to learn how to deal with your stuff, and you still need to learn how to deal with your relationships or whatever. Of course, there's certain relationships where it will probably get, it will probably extend like distance itself over time. Like I had a friend that I had to tell. I think this was like this time last year. We haven't caught up for a while. We have the same birthday year or whatever, and birthday month. I think no birthday date.
Okay, yeah, share date. Okay, cool.
So like we'll like usually catch up like every year. We're like, oh, you're right, we say whatever. And every time he wants to call me and reminisce about school days and whatever, and that's fine, that's great, that's cool. We could do that when we're chilling and we're having a drink or whatever. But don't call me every time to talk about the same thing. I had to tell him, yo, big man, I'm gonna stop picking up your call. Because if you can't call me to talk about other things, we're grown-ups now.
Yeah.
Like even if it's like talk about your life, talk about how your days
now, like what happened yesterday.
Care about what happened 10 years ago. I don't even remember that half of that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I just had to tell him, yo, bro, I'm gonna have to dead this call going forward. Like I'm not gonna pick up your calls if you're just gonna be calling me to reminiscing about back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we're grown ass people now. So it's like you understand all these different things and you just learn how to maneuver those people. And then I think I had to let him know, like, look, I'm not saying it because I'm better than you or anything. It's just we're in a different realm now with grown-ups, so we're doing different things. The same way as the old friends that don't check up on you or whatever. They don't owe you nothing. You don't owe them anything. So that's the mentality I have, and I think most people should try and adapt to that mentality. Nobody owes you anything, even if they've promised you the world. And then they really and truly they don't owe you nothing because you didn't come to this world at the same time through the same whatever. So you just have to like be tough on yourself and be reflective that what this isn't always about me. Of course, there's gonna be times, and people that are your real friends will know when something's wrong and how to help you. Or helping you doesn't mean giving you money all the time. Right? It could just be advice. It could just be listening to you. It could just be going up and just want to be angry and lash out. Fine, I'm here for you to do that. So you have all those different friends. I think the more you learn how to deal with those things and literally, matter of fact, give yourself more like self-awareness and reflectiveness about the way you actually even exude yourself to other people. I think it makes it better for you to do those things. So for me, I don't really have issues in that perspective. Of course, in real life for other things, there's always going to be someone that will do something against you or whatever, and that's life, and you learn to deal with those things.
Yeah.
But in general, I'm not really like. It sounds crazy. It's not like I don't care about friends or anything, but I believe in brotherhood. I believe in like deep, meaningful relationships. We're able to help each other, support each other. Talk about things. And bro, I have friends that we could talk about so many things in the same sitting, from girls to cars to watches to politics to business to career, so many things.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of balance you kind of want. I don't want to be saying talking about girls all day, but I understand if I do have a friend that talks about girls all day, cool. I'm very more careful around how much time I'm spending with
Spending
them.
with that person, yeah. So maybe your dosage is half hour a day. Half hour dosage of that person every day.
I let you spill your stuff. So good. So that's kind of like how I maneuver, and I'm just human with it as well. Like at the end of the day, you just have to accept some people for how they are and who they are. You can't force things. And that's why for me, I don't necessarily really preach the whole entrepreneur stuff and whatever. If you choose to be an entrepreneur, great. I'm happy to help you and guide you and whatever. But I'm not gonna come here and say, oh, you need to be an entrepreneur. You shouldn't be working 9 to 5. No, 9 to 5 is probably better for you than actual entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
You might not be a good leader,
Mm-hmm.
but you might be a good collaborator.
Mm-hmm.
Say, and
Yeah.
there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how I always approach these things and let people understand that I'm okay. I'm easy with everyone and whatever, and everyone gets their own time and share. And for me, a lot of times I like to spend time by myself. I love my own.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was gonna go and ask. What are your hobbies and your interests? I mean, what kind of things? What's your like outside of your main passion of business?
Outside
So you like having your own time to yourself. What do you do? What do you do for time?
the most random things, you'll be very surprised. Like certain things I might know, and you're thinking, what? Like, why? But I just know because I'm just curious.
Yeah,
I'm really, really, really into watches, as you know.
yeah, yeah.
So for a nice watch for my birthday present.
Oh, nice. What one's that one?
It's a dival brand called Steinart.
Okay.
They do like homages to like the Rolex Submariner. And what
Mhm.
people don't know about the Rolex Submariner is it's actually a copy of an actual original brand that came up with that
Yeah,
original
yeah, 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 yeah.
one. And the model they had is called 55 or something like that.
Okay.
But obviously Rolex came, and I think they always say it's not about who did it first, about who did it
We
better.
do better. Yeah, and
So
that's very real.
hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
I'm into watches. The one thing I used to do quite a lot when I was working in Hunter is go clay shooting. I actually have an air rifle
Hmm.
uh, in my house or whatever, but I haven't been able to do that quite a lot recently, stuff like that. What else am I interested in? I love food. I love culture.
Okay.
I eat, I mean, I love food, but I'm also a very, very picky eater. Like
Hmm.
I'm not anything or because I've had some bad experiences with food
Mm.
previously. Um, love listening to music. Um, Unfortunately, I don't really read that much books.
Anymore. After your 45 books you were reading before. Yeah, I guess you turned from that.
And that's not because, and people think, oh, because you don't read books, you don't know stuff. No, I very much look for factual data.
Mm.
I don't want to read books about other people's lives. I mean, that's great. It could be interesting, inspiring, and you
Yeah.
can learn something great. But for me, I have my own life. I have things that I'm facing in my
Yeah,
reality.
you can write your own book as well, man.
That I could,
Mm.
and I guess the way I would write it, I'm not going to write it talking about, oh, this is how you should maneuver. I'll just tell you, oh, this is what happened, and
Yeah.
you
This is what I
relate.
learned and this is what I did and what I didn't do. So
Can great. If you can't, oh, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's what some people, have. The I think that's the effect they wanted with their books and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I watch quite a few podcasts here and there.
No, yeah, tell me some of the like a good podcast that you'd recommend to people who want to get into business.
For business, it's tough. I don't really watch podcasts around business, but I watch like a lot of content that people create. So I used to like really watch a lot of valuetainment. It's called. It's
Okay,
owned by a guy called Pat Bet David.
okay,
Pat Bet David. I think so. Yeah, Pat Bet David.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, he basically gives that content around business, politics,
Oh,
and stuff
amazing.
like motivation. It's pretty cool stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
some
yeah,
of the stuff I skip through it. Some of them I actually look into because I'm actually quite interested in. So for me, I always say, just like for me, I'm only indulging into things that I'm genuinely interested in.
yeah, yeah,
if it's things that I know is going to be actually helpful for where I'm currently at.
Yeah.
Book about how this and this is that, and I can't apply it to my life now. There's no point. I'm wasting.
Yeah. 100%.
What else? I really love what's that called? I've been doing a few design stuff around that, just like looking at random stuff around it. But
Okay. And then just to sort of just as we get close to wrapping up, so tell us some of the upcoming plans that you have, the upcoming plans and projects that you got going on at the moment.
I've got some slight pivots that I'm doing with Gyre that's going to come up hopefully next month or two, which I'll definitely introduce them again. I've obviously gone quiet with Gyre a little bit because of the whole COVID-19 thing.
Yeah.
I've been transitioning from my whole redundancy stuff with my work stuff, so I'm like on the forefront. I've got different app that I'm actually working with someone else with. Actually, I've got other different product and projects that I'm currently working on with. One of them is actually, funny enough, it actually supports what we're doing now in terms of COVID-19 and the racism stuff that's going on. And it's basically it's a dating app for Black people.
Okay, that sounds good.
There's some stuff that makes it very different to other normal dating.
You don't need to reveal that. That's classified information, top secret, man. Government secret stuff, man.
There's that. There's one where I'm helping a friend of mine who's building a platform to like help with like personal development and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
Pretty cool stuff. I mean, I'm not really into that stuff like that, but from a product perspective, I'm very much into it and like seeing how different things work or whatever.
Yeah. And so, I mean, where can we find you? Where can we find you on your socials to follow you?
Instagram, Twitter, Alaga Raz. So that's ALAGA_RAZ.
Yep.
You can't type that in or you don't remember that. Just type my name, Ola Bayoji. I'm sure it'll come up. Or you can even check my website. So that's my name, nospaces.com. There you will find details about some of the projects I'm working on.
Cool.
Find some of the design stuff that I do. Maybe my CV if you're someone who wants to give me a job or you have a job for me. You might just find a little bit about myself in there as well.
Sure.
Maybe any other content that I might feel like I want to share on there. Other than that, I'm actually always doing freelancing in terms of design and product stuff.
Cool.
So if anyone's obviously interested in that, or you just want to know about it, or you just want to understand how certain things work, then by all means,
hit you up. Sure.
Yeah.
And one last piece of advice you would have for any person who wishes to embark on your journey of starting up a business, what would be your one piece of advice that you give them?
Be yourself.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Don't even try and what's the word? What's that word when you compromise? Don't try and compromise.
Compromise who you are. Yeah.
Who you are. Be yourself. Do whatever you feel needs to be done for the betterment of whatever you want to do. Once you do that, everything's good. You don't have any. You won't really have any obstacles when it comes to that. Just be yourself, and being yourself doesn't just mean start doing wild stuff or whatever. You need to understand what you're getting yourself into. You need to have discipline. You need to. But the most thing, like you said, be yourself. You're selling yourself.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Around that area, you're selling yourself. So just be who you are, and I think everything else will fall in place.
Perfect, man. Ola, my guy, my bro, it's been amazing having you on the show today, man. Thank you for all those golden nuggets and painting a true perspective of your journey and just like allowing people to sort of know that everything's not all rosy cozy. Keeping it legit. You kept it legit and kept it very transparent for everybody, and we appreciate everything, man. And we wish you all the best in your journey as well, guys. Thanks for listening today. Make sure you follow Ola on his social media. Keep in touch with Gyre and keep in touch with everything that's going on with the business. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.